पूरा एक चैप्टर कल कर लिया अपना, ये सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन इन फ्लावरिंग प्लांट। तो वो कंप्लीट करने के बाद मैं देखा हूँ तो पता चल रहा है उसमें साउंड ही नहीं आ रहा था लाइव स्ट्रीम में। तो उसका मतलब ऑलरेडी मैं एक वीडियो डाल चुका था, मतलब रीड करके, इसीलिए उसको दोबारा नहीं कर रहे हैं। और इसमें इस स्ट्रीम में हम लोग ह्यूमन रिप्रोडक्शन से स्टार्ट करके, ये सेकेंड चैप्टर है क्योंकि फर्स्ट तो डिलीट हो चुका है, और इकोलॉजी के लास्ट चैप्टर तक रीड करेंगे। और जैसे कि सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन इन फ्लावरिंग प्लांट तो हो गया। तो कॉपी खोल के पेन लेके बैठ जाओ भाई। ह्यूमन रिप्रोडक्शन 3.1, द मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम 3.2, द फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम 3.3, गैमेटोजेनेसिस 3.4, menstrual cycle 3.5, fertilization and implantation 3.6, pregnancy and embryonic development 3.7, parturition and lactation. As you aware, humans are sexually reproducing and viviparous. The reproductive events in human include formation of gametes, gametogenesis, that is sperm in male and ovum in females, transfer of sperm into female genital tract, insemination, and fusion of male and female gametes, fertilization leading to formation of zygote. This is followed by formation and development of blastocyst and its attachment to uterine wall, implantation, embryonic development, gestation, and delivery of the baby, parturition. You have learned that these reproductive events occur after puberty. There are remarkable differences between reproductive events in male and females. For example, sperm formation continues even in old men, but formation of ovum ceases in women around age of 50 years. Let us examine the male and female reproductive system in humans. 3.1, the male reproductive system. The male reproductive system is located in the pelvis region, figure 3.1a. It includes a pair of testes along with accessory ducts, glands, and external genitalia. So this is diagrammatic sectional view of male pelvis showing reproductive system. This is ureter, this is seminal vesicle, this is urinary bladder, and this is vas deferens, this is prostate gland, and this is penis, this is urethra, and this is glans penis, and above glans penis is a foreskin. This is ejaculatory duct, and this is rectum, and this is anus, and here is testes, and it is scrotum, and here is bulbourethral gland. The testes are situated outside the abdominal cavity within a pouch called scrotum. The scrotum helps in maintaining the low temperature of testes 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the normal internal body temperature, necessary for the spermatogenesis. In adults, each testis is oval in shape with a length of 4 to 5 cm and width of 2 to 3 cm. The testis is covered by a dense covering. Each testis has about 250 compartments called testicular lobules. Each lobule contains 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules in which sperm are produced. Each seminiferous tubule is lined on its inside by two types of cells, male germ cells, spermatogonia, and Sertoli cells. The male germ cells undergo meiotic division, finally leading to sperm formation, while Sertoli cells provide nutrition to the germ cells. The region outside the seminiferous tubule called interstitial space contains small blood vessels and interstitial cells or Leydig cells. Leydig cells synthesize and secrete testicular hormones called androgens. Other immunological competent cells also present. Here is diagrammatic view of male reproductive system. Part of testis is open to show inner details. This is ureter, this is urinary bladder, this is vas deferens, and these are epididymis, and these are rete vasiferentia and rete testis. This is rete testis, and these are testicular lobules. This is glans penis, and above glans penis this is foreskin. This is testis. This is urethra. This is bulbourethral gland. This is prostate gland, single, and these are paired seminal vesicle. The male sex accessory duct include rete testi, vasiferentia, epididymis, and vas deferens. The seminiferous tubule of the testes open into the vasiferentia through rete testes. The vasiferentia leave the testi and open into epididymis located along the posterior surface of each testis. The epididymis lead to vas deferens that ascend to the abdomen and loops over the urinary bladder. It receives a duct from seminal vesicle and opens into urethra as the ejaculatory duct. These ducts store and transport the sperm from the testes to outside through urethra. The urethra originates from urinary bladder and extends through the penis to its external opening called urethral meatus. Here is diagrammatic sectional view of seminiferous tubule. This is Sertoli cell, and these are spermatozoa, and this is spermatogonia, and here are interstitial cells in interstitial mediums. The penis is male external genitalia. It is made up of special tissue that help in erection of penis to facilitate insemination. The enlarged end of penis is called glans penis, is covered by loose fold of skin called foreskin. The male accessory glands include paired seminal vesicle of prostate and paired bulbourethral glands. Secretion of these glands constitutes seminal plasma, which is rich in fructose, calcium, and certain enzymes. The secretion of bulbourethral glands also help in lubrication of penis. 3.2 The female reproductive system. The female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries along with a pair of oviduct, uterus, cervix, vagina, and the external genitalia located in the pelvic region. These part of system along with a pair of mammary glands are integrated structurally and functionally to support the process of ovulation, fertilization, pregnancy, birth, and child care. Ovaries are primary female sex organs that produce the female gamete, ovum, and several steroid hormones, ovarian hormones. The ovaries are located on one of the each side of lower abdomen. Each ovary is about 2 to 4 cm in length and is connected to the pelvic wall and uterus by ligaments. Each ovary is covered by thin epithelium which encloses the ovarian stroma. The stroma is divided into two zones of peripheral cortex and inner medulla. Diagrammatic sectional view of female pelvis showing reproductive system. It is uterus, and here is urinary bladder. This is pubic symphysis. This is urethra. Here is clitoris, and here is labium minora. Here is labium majora. Here is vaginal orifice. This is anus. This is vagina. This is rectum, and this is cervix. The oviduct, fallopian tubes, uterus, and vagina constitute the female accessory ducts. Each fallopian tube is about 10 to 12 cm long and extend from periphery of each ovary to uterus. The part closer to the ovary is funnel-shaped infundibulum. The edge of the infundibulum possesses finger-like projection called fimbriae, which help in the collection of ovum after ovulation. The infundibulum lead to wider parts of the oviduct called ampulla. The last part of oviduct is isthmus, has a narrow lumen and it's joined to uterus. So here is sectional view of female reproductive system. This is uterine fundus. Here is isthmus. Here is ampulla. This is infundibulum, and these collectively called as fallopian tubes. This is fimbriae. This is an ovary. This is cervix. This is cervical canal. This is vagina. This is outer layer is perimetrium. Middle layer is myometrium, and inner layer is endometrium. These are layer of uterus, and this is uterine cavity. The uterus is a single and it is also called womb. The shape of uterus is like inverted pear. It is supported by ligament attached to pelvic wall. The uterus open into vagina through a narrow cervix. The cavity of the cervix called cervical canal, which along with vagina form the birth canal. The wall of uterus has three-layer tissue. The external thin membranous perimetrium, middle thick layer of smooth muscle, myometrium, and inner glandular layer called endometrium that lines the uterine cavity. The endometrium undergoes cyclic changes during menstrual cycle, while myometrium exhibits a strong contraction during delivery of baby. The female external genitalia include mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen, and clitoris. Mons pubis is fusion of fatty tissue covered by skin and pubic hair. The labia majora are fleshy fold of tissue which extend down from mons pubis and surrounded the vaginal opening. The labia minora are paired fold of tissue under the labia majora. The opening of vagina is often covered partially by membrane called hymen. The clitoris is the tiny finger-like structure which lies at upper junction of two labia minora above the urethral opening. The hymen is often torn during first coitus intercourse. However, it is also broken by sudden falls or jolts. Insertion of vaginal tampon. Active participation in some sports like horseback riding, cycling, etc. In some women, the hymen persists even after coitus. In fact, the presence or absence of hymen is not a reliable indicator of virginity of sexual experience. Here is diagrammatic sectional view of mammary glands. So here is rib. Then these are muscle between ribs, and this is pectoralis major muscle. Pectoralis major muscles. These are fats. These are mammary lobes, and this is mammary alveolus, and these are mammary ducts, and these are mammary ampulla, and these are lactiferous duct, and this is nipple, and this is areola. So these are the flow of milk from fat to nipple is from fat to mammary lobe, mammary lobes to mammary alveolus to mammary duct, and mammary duct to ampulla, ampulla to lactiferous duct, and lactiferous duct to nipple. Of functional mammary glands is characteristic of all female mammals. The mammary glands are paired structure breast that contain glandular tissue and variable amount of fats. The glandular tissue of each breast is divided into 15 to 20 mammary lobes containing clusters of cells called alveoli. These cells of alveoli secrete milks which is stored in cavities of lumens of alveoli. The alveoli open into mammary tubules. The tubules of each lobe join to form mammary ducts. These several mammary ducts join to form wider mammary ampulla, which is connected to lactiferous duct through which milk is sucked out. 3.3 Gametogenesis. The primary sex organ, the testes is in the males and the ovary in the females produce gametes, that is sperm and ovum respectively, by the process called gametogenesis. In testes, the immature male germ cells spermatogonia produce sperm by spermatogenesis that begin at puberty. The spermatogonia, singular spermatogonium, present on the inside wall of seminiferous tubule, multiply by mitotic division and increase in numbers. Each spermatogonia is diploid and contains 46 chromosomes. Some of the spermatogonia, called primary spermatocytes, periodically undergo meiosis. A primary spermatocytes complete the first meiotic division, reduction division, leading to the formation of two equal haploid cells called secondary spermatocytes, which have only 23 chromosomes each. फर्स्ट मियोटिक डिवीजन कहाँ हो रहा है भाई? प्राइमरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट्स कंप्लीट कर रहा है फर्स्ट मियोटिक डिवीजन और रिडक्शन डिवीजन. These secondary spermatocytes undergo second meiotic division to produce 4 equal haploid spermatids. What would be the number of chromosomes in spermatids? So half number. These spermatids are transferred into spermatozoa sperms by process called spermiogenesis. After spermiogenesis, sperm heads become embedded into the Sertoli cells and finally released from the seminiferous tubule by process called spermiation. So here is sexual view of seminiferous tubules enlarged. These are spermatozoa. This is spermatids. This is secondary spermatocytes, and this is primary spermatocytes. This is Sertoli cells, and this is spermatogonia. Spermatogenesis starts at the age of puberty due to significant increase in the secretion of gonadotropin releasing hormone GnRH. This, if you recall, is a hypothalamic hormone. The increased level of gonadotropin releasing hormone then acts as the anterior pituitary gland and stimulates secretion of two gonadotropin luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone FSH. Luteinizing hormone acts at leading cell and stimulates synthesis and secretion of androgens. Androgens in turn stimulate the process of spermatogenesis. Follicle stimulating hormones acts on Sertoli cells and stimulate secretion of some factor which help in process of spermiogenesis. Let us examine the structure of sperm. It is microscopic structure composed of head, neck, middle piece, and tail. A plasma membrane envelope is the whole body of sperm. The sperm head contains elongated haploid nucleus, the anterior portion of which is covered by a cap-like structure, acrosome. The acrosome is filled with enzymes that help fertilization of ovum. The middle piece possesses numerous mitochondria which produce energy for movement of tail that facilitate sperm motility essential for fertilization. The human male ejaculates about 200 to 300 million sperm during coitus, of which for normal fertility at least 60% of sperm must have normal shape and size, and at least 40% of them must show vigorous motility. Here is the structure of sperm. So this is head, this outer is plasma membrane, this is acrosome, this is nucleus containing chromosomal material, this is neck, this is middle piece, these are mitochondria, energy source for swimming, and this is tail. Sperm released from the seminiferous tubule are transported by accessory ducts. Secretion of epididymis, well difference, seminal, vesicle, and prostate are essential for maturation and motility of sperms. The seminal plasma along with the sperm constitute the semen. The function of male sex accessory duct and glands are maintained by testicular hormone androgens. The process of formation of mature female gametes is called oogenesis, which is markedly different from spermatogenesis. Oogenesis is initiated during embryonic development stage when a couple of million a couple of million gametes mother cells oogonia are formed within each fetal ovary. No more oogonia are formed and added after birth. These cells start division and enter into first of meiotic division and gets temporarily arrested at stage called primary oocytes. Each primary oocyte then gets surrounded by a layer of granulosa cell and is called primary follicle. A large number of these follicles degenerate during phase of birth to puberty. Therefore, at puberty only 60,000 to 80,000 primary follicles are left in each ovary. The ovary follicle gets surrounded by more layers of granulosa cell and a new theca are called secondary follicles. These secondary follicles soon transform into tertiary follicle, which is characterized by fluid-filled cavity called antrum. The theca layer is organized into inner theca interna and outer theca externa. It is important to draw your attention that it is at this stage that primary oocyte within tertiary follicles grow inside and completes the first meiotic division. It is an unequal division resulting in the formation of large haploid secondary oocytes and tiny first polar body. The secondary oocyte retain bulk of the nutrient-rich cytoplasm of the primary oocytes. Can you explain advantage of this? Does the first polar body born out of first meiotic division divide further or degenerate? At present, we are not very certain about this. The tertiary follicle further change into mature follicle or Graafian follicle. The secondary oocyte form a new membrane called zona pellucida surrounding it. The Graafian follicle now rupture and release secondary oocyte ovum from the ovary by the process called ovulation. Can you identify major difference between spermatogenesis and oogenesis? On diagrammatic sectional representation of spermatogenesis and oogenesis given below, and here is sectional view of ovary. So these are blood vessels and this is primary follicle, this is the tertiary follicle showing antrum, this is Graafian follicle, this is ovum, and these are corpus luteum. Symmetric representation, this is spermatogenesis. So at puberty, spermatogonia by mitosis differentiation form primary spermatocytes, and these primary spermatocytes after first meiotic division form secondary spermatocytes, and after second meiotic division this 2-degree spermatocyte changes into spermatids, and spermatids after differentiation form spermatozoa. So these are what? Spermatozoa, and these are spermatids, and these are secondary spermatocytes, and spermatozoa are haploids, and primary spermatocytes and spermatogonia are diploid 2n, and these are n. Here is oogenesis. So in oogenesis, oogonia after mitosis and differentiation form primary oocytes, and these are 2n diploid, and this occur in fetal life. And in primary oocyte after first meiotic division completed before ovulation, it forms secondary oocytes, and secondary oocyte develop into ovum. So this is second polar body, and first polar body, this first polar body formed at division of primary oocytes, and second polar body form after mitosis of secondary oocytes. This is adult life of oogenesis. 3.4 Menstrual cycle. The reproductive cycle in female primates, monkey, apes, human beings is called menstrual cycle. The first menstrual begins at the puberty and is called menarche. In human females, menstruation is repeated at average interval of about 28 to 29 days, and the cycle of events starting from one menstruation till next one is called a menstrual cycle. One ovum is released ovulation during middle of each menstrual cycle. The majority of events of menstrual cycle are shown in figure 3.9. The cycle starts with menstrual phase, when menstrual flow occurs, and it lasts for 3 to 5 days. The menstrual flow results due to breakdown of endometrial lining of uterus and its blood vessel, which form liquid that comes out through vagina. Menstruation only occurs if the released ovum is not fertilized. A lack of menstruation may be indicative of pregnancy. However, it may also be caused due to some of other underlying causes like stress, poor health, etc. The menstrual phase is followed by follicular phase. During this phase, the primary follicle in the ovary grow to become a fully mature Graafian follicle, and simultaneously the endometrium of uterus regenerates through proliferation. These changes These changes in the ovary and uterus are induced by change in level of pituitary and ovarian hormones. The secretion of gonadotropins LH and FSH increase gradually during follicular phase and stimulate follicular development, as well as secretion of estrogen by growing follicles. Both luteinizing and follicle stimulating hormones attain a peak level in the middle of cycle about 14th day. Rapid secretion of luteinizing hormone leading to its maximum level during the mid-cycle, called luteinizing hormone surge, induce rupture of Graafian follicle and thereby release of ovulation. The ovulatory phase is followed by luteal phase, during which the remaining part of Graafian follicle transforms as corpus luteum. The corpus luteum secretes large amount of progesterone, which is essential for maintenance of endometrium. Such an endometrium is necessary for implantation of fertilized ovum and other events of pregnancy. During pregnancy, all events of menstrual cycle stop. There is no menstruation. In the absence of fertilization, the corpus luteum degenerates. This causes disintegration of endometrium, leading to menstruation, marking a new cycle. In human beings, menstrual cycle ceases around 50 years of age. That is termed as menopause. Cyclic menstruation is an indicator of normal reproductive phase and extends between menarche and menopause. Here are menstrual hygiene. Maintenance of hygiene and sanitation during menstruation is very important. Take bath and clean yourself regularly. Use sanitary napkins or clean homemade pads. Change sanitary napkins or homemade pads after every 4 to 5 hours as per requirements. Dispose of use of sanitary napkins, properly wrapping it with use of paper. Do not throw the used napkin in the drain pipe of toilet or in the open area. After handling the napkin, wash hand with soap. So here is diagrammatic representation of various events during menstrual cycle. So here is pituitary hormone level, here is ovarian events, here is ovarian hormone level, and here is uterine events, and here day given. So from day 1 to day 5 or 4 menstruation occur, and after that follicular phase start. It's from 5 to approx 14 days or something, or 15 days, and after that luteal phase or secretory phase start, and after this next cycle begins. So pituitary hormone, how this changes. So at time of menstruations, menstrual cycle, at time of menstrual or menstruation, follicle stimulating hormone is more than luteinizing hormone, but at 14 days luteinizing hormone is max, it is at its peak, so it is known as LH surge, and luteinizing hormone dominate over uh, up to this menstruation. And this is ovarian events. So from day 1 to day 14 follicles develops, and at the day of 14th or ovulation occur. After ovulation corpus luteum going to develops, and this corpus luteum going to secrete what? Progesterone. This progesterone hormone maintain uterine wall. This progesterone maintain uterine wall, but if a sperm is not available, then this corpus luteum degenerates. So how ovarian hormone increases or decreases? So first day to up to day 14 estrogen dominate, but after but after releasing of corpus luteum progesterone hormone is developed, and if ovary not going to और sperm नहीं मिल रहा है, ovary not going to fused by sperm, then this corpus luteum degenerate and progesterone hormone become below this estrogen hormone. This is whole menstrual cycle. 3.5 fertilization and implantation. During copulation coitus, semen is released by penis into vagina insemination. The motile sperm swim rapidly, pass through cervix, enter into the uterus, and finally reach the ampullary region of the fallopian tube. The ovum released by ovary is also transported to ampullary region, where fertilization takes place. Fertilization can only occur if the ovum and sperm are transported simultaneously to the ampullary region. This is reason why not all copulation lead to fertilization and pregnancy. The process of fusion of a sperm with ovum is called fertilization. During fertilization, a sperm comes in contact with zona pellucida layer of ovum and induce change in membrane that block the entry of addition of sperms. Thus, it ensures that only one sperm can fertilize an ovum. This secretion of the acrosome helps in the sperm enter into the cytoplasm of ovum through the zona pellucida and plasma membrane. This induces the completion of meiotic division of the secondary oocytes. This second meiotic division is also unequal and result in the formation of second polar body and haploid ovum oocyte. Soon the haploid nucleus of sperm and that of ovum fuse together to form diploid zygote. One has to remember that the sex of baby has been decided at this stage itself. As you know that chromosome, so here is ovum surrounded by sperm. This is perivital space. What is this? This is perivitaline space. This is zona pellucida. Okay, these are cells of corona radiata. These are sperms. As you know, chromosome pattern in the human females is XX and that in male is XY. Therefore, all the haploid gametes overproduced by females have sex chromosome X, whereas in male gametes, sperm and sex chromosomes could be either X or Y. Hence, 50% of sperm carry X chromosomes, while the other 50% carry Y. After fusion of male and female gametes, the zygote would carry either XX or XY depending on whether the sperm carrying X or Y fertilize the ovum. The zygote carrying XX would develop into female baby and XY would form a male. You will learn more about chromosomes pattern in chapter 5. The meiotic the mitotic division starts as the zygote moves through isthmus of the oviduct called cleavage toward the uterus and form 2, 4, 8 and 16 daughter cells called blastomeres. The embryo with 8 to 16 blastomeres is called morula. The morula continues to divide and transforms into blastocysts as it moves further into uterus. The blastomeres in blastocyst are arranged into an outer layer called trophoblast and an inner group of cells attached to trophoblast called inner cell mass. The trophoblast layer then get attached to endometrium and the inner cell mass get differentiated as the embryo. After attachment, the uterine cell divides rapidly and cover blastocysts. As a result, the blastocyst become embedded in the endometrium of uterus. This is called implantation and led to pregnancy. Transport of ovum, fertilization and passage of growing embryo through fallopian tubes. So here is ovule and fertilized by sperm to form zygote. Zygote divides to form morula, 8-celled structure, and this is blastocyst. This implant into uterus. Pregnancy and embryonic development. After implantation, finger-like projection appear on trophoblast called chorionic villi, which are surrounded by uterine tissue and maternal blood. The chorionic villi and uterine tissue become interdigitated with each other and jointly form a structural and functional unit between developing embryo, fetus and maternal body called placenta. The placenta facilitates the supply of oxygen and nutrient to the embryo and also removal of carbon dioxide and excretory waste material produced by embryo. The placenta is connected to embryo through an umbilical cord which helps in the transport of substances to and from embryo. Placenta also acts as an endocrine tissue and produces several hormones like HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, human placental lactogen HPL, estrogen and progesterone, etc. In the later phase of pregnancy, a hormone called relaxin is also secreted by ovary. Let us remember that HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, HPL and relaxin are produced in women only during pregnancy. In addition, during pregnancy, the level of other hormones like estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, prolactin, thyroxine, etc. are increased several folds in maternal blood. Increased production of this hormone is essential for supporting the fetal growth, metabolic change in the mother and maintenance of pregnancy. Here is human fetus within the uterus. So this is placental villi. This is umbilical cord with its vessels. This is cavity of uterus. This is yolk sac. This is yolk sac. And this is embryo. And this is plug of mucus in cervix. So this plug is of mucus. Immediately after implantation, the inner cell mass embryo differentiate into an outer layer called ectoderm and an inner layer called endoderm. A mesoderm soon appears between ectoderm and endoderm. These three layers give rise to all tissue organs in adults. It need to mention here that inner cell mass contains certain cells called stem cells which have potency to give rise to all the tissue and organs. Human pregnancy lasts for 9 months. तो एक कुत्ता हाथी बिल्ली में कितना महीना होगा? Find out in human beings after 1 month of pregnancy, embryo's heart is formed. The first sign of growing fetus may be noticed by listening the heart sound carefully through the stethoscope. By the end of the second month of pregnancy, the fetus develops limbs, digits. By the end of 12 weeks, first trimester, most of the major organ systems are formed. For example, the limbs and external genital organs are well developed. The first movement of fetus and appearance of hair on the head are usually observed during 5th months. By the end of about 24 weeks, end of second trimester, the body is covered within fine hair, eyelids separate, and eyelashes are formed. By the end of 9 months pregnancy, the fetus is fully developed and ready for delivery. 3.7 Parturition in and lactation. The average duration of human pregnancy is about 9 months, which is called gestation period. Vigorous contraction of uterus at the end of pregnancy cause expulsion, delivery of fetus. This process of delivery of fetus childbirth is called parturition. Parturition is induced by complex neuroendocrine mechanism. The signals of parturition originated from fully developed fetus and the placenta, which induce mild uterine contraction called fetal ejection reflex. This trigger release of oxytocin from the maternal pituitary. Oxytocin acts on the uterine muscle and causes stronger uterine contraction, which in turn stimulates further secretion of oxytocin. The stimulatory reflex between the uterine contraction and oxytocin secretion continues, resulting in stronger and in stronger contraction. This led to expulsion of baby out of uterus through birth canal parturition. Soon after infant is delivered, the placenta is also expelled out from the uterus. What do you think the doctor inject to induce delivery? Maybe they induce oxytocin. Maybe. The mammary glands of female undergo differentiation during pregnancy and start producing milk toward end of pregnancy by process called lactation. This helps the mother in feeding the newborn. Milk produced during initial few days of lactation is called colostrum, which contains several antibodies absolutely essential to develop resistance of newborn babies. Breastfeeding during the initial period of infant is recommended by doctor bringing of healthy baby. Summary: humans are sexually reproducing and viviparous. The male reproductive system is composed of a pair of testes, the male sex accessory duct and the accessory duct and external genitalia. Accessory glands and external genitalia. Each testis has about 250 compartments called testicular lobules, and each lobule contains 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules. Each seminiferous tubule is lined inside by spermatogonia and Sertoli cells. The spermatogonia undergo meiotic division leading to sperm formation, while Sertoli cells provide nutrition to dividing germ cells. The Leydig cells outside the seminiferous tubule synthesize and secrete testicular hormone called androgens. The male external genitalia is called penis, The female reproductive system consists of pair of ovaries, of a pair of oviducts, a uterus, a vagina, external genitalia, and a pair of mammary glands. The ovaries produce the female gametes ovum and some steroid hormones, ovarian hormones. Ovarian follicle in different stage of development are embedded in stroma. The oviduct, uterus, and vagina are female accessory duct. The uterus has three layers, namely perimetrium, myometrium, and endometrium. The female external genitalia includes mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen, and clitoris. The mammary glands are one of the female secondary sexual characteristics. Spermatogonia results in the formation of sperm that are transported by male sex accessory ducts. A normal human sperm is composed of head, neck, a middle piece, and a tail. The process of formation of mature female gametes is called oogenesis. The reproductive cycle of female primates is called menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle starts only after attaining sexual maturation puberty. During ovulation, only one ovum is released per menstrual cycle. These cyclic changes in ovary and uterus during menstrual cycle are induced by change in the level of pituitary and ovarian hormones. After cutus, sperms are transported to junction of isthmus and ampulla, where the sperm fertilize the ovum, leading to formation of a diploid zygote. The presence of X and Y chromosome in the sperm determines the sex of embryo. The zygote undergo repeated mitotic division to form blastocyst, which is implanted in the uterus, resulting in pregnancy. After 9 months of pregnancy, the fully developed fetus is ready to delivery. The process of childbirth is called parturition, which is induced by complex neuroendocrine mechanism involving cortisol, estrogen, and oxytocin. Mammary glands differentiate during pregnancy and secrete milks after childbirth. The newborn baby is fed milk by mother, called lactation, during initial few days of growth. So this is chapter 3. We start chapter 3 after 5 minutes of break. बहाव में बहेंगे घटाओं में पढ़ के समझाता मन शॉर्ट में बहुत करा है. So welcome back. रेस्ट हो गया ब्रो 5 मिनट का. Let's start reproductive health. Four point one, reproductive health problems and strategies. 4.2, population explosion and birth control. 4.3, medical termination of pregnancy. 4.4, sexual transmitted diseases. 4.5, infertility. You have learnt about human reproductive system and its function in chapter 3. Now let's discuss a closely related topic, reproductive health. What do you understand by this term? The term is simply refer to healthy reproductive organs with normal functions. However, it has a broader perspective that and includes the emotional and social aspects of reproduction also. According to the World Health Organization (WHO), reproductive health means a total well-being in all aspects of reproduction, that is physical, emotional, behavior and social. Therefore, a society with people having physically and functionally normal reproductive organs and normal emotional and behavior interactions among them in all sex related aspects might be called reproductively healthy. Why is it significant to maintain reproductive health, and what are methods taken up to achieve it? Let us examine them. 4.1, reproductive health problems and strategies. India was amongst the first country in the world to initiate action plan and programs at the national level to attain total reproductive health as a social goal. These programs called family planning were initiated in 1951 or were periodically assessed over the past decades. Improved programs covering wider reproduction related areas are currently in operation under the population name Reproductive and Child Healthcare (RCH) programs. Creating awareness among peoples about various reproduction related aspects and providing facilities and support for building up a reproductively healthy society are major tasks under these programs. With the help of audio, visuals, and print media, governmental and non-governmental agencies have taken various steps to create awareness among the people about reproduction related aspects. Parents, other close relatives, teachers, and friends also have a major role in the dissemination of above information. Introduction of sex education in schools should also be encouraged to provide right information to the young so as to discourage child from delivering in mice and having my misconception about sex related aspects. Proper information about reproductive organs, adolescence and related changes, safe and hygienic sexual practice, sexually transmitted diseases, STD, AIDS, etc., would help people, especially those in adolescent age group, to lead a reproductively healthy life. educating people, especially fertile couples and those in marriageable age group, about available birth control options, care of pregnant mothers, postnatal natal care of mother and child, importance of breastfeeding, equal opportunity for the male and female childs, would address the importance of bringing up socially conscious, healthy families of desired size, awareness of problems due to uncontrolled population growth, social evils like sex abuse and sex related crimes, etc., need to be created to enable people to think and take up necessary steps to prevent them and thereby build up a socially responsible and healthy society. Successful implementation of various action plans to attain reproductive health requires strong infrastructural facilities, professional expertise, and material support. These are essential to provide medical assistance and care to people in reproduction related problems like pregnancy, delivery, STDs, abortion, contraceptions, menstrual problems, infertility, etc. Implementation of better techniques and new strategies for time to time are also required to provide more efficient care and assistance to people. Statute, statutory, statutory ban on amniocentesis for sex determination to legally check increasing menace of female feticides, massive child immunization, etc., are some programs that merit mention in this connection. In amniocentesis, some of the amniotic fluid of developing fetus is taken to analyze the fetal cell and dissolve substances. This procedure is used to test for the presence of certain genetic disorders such as Down syndrome, hemophilia, sickle cell anemia, etc. Determine the survivability of fetus. Research on various reproduction related areas and encouraged and supported by governmental and non-governmental agencies to find out new methods and or to improve upon the existing one. Do you know Saheli, a new oral contraceptive of female, was developed by scientists at Central Drug Research Institute CDRI in Lucknow, India. Better awareness about sex related matters, increased number of medically assisted deliveries and better postnatal care, leading to decreased maternal and infant mortality rate. Increased number of couples with small families, better detection and cure STD, and overall increased medical facilities for all sex related problems, etc., all indicate improved reproductive health of society. 4.2 Population stabilization and birth control. In the last century, all round development in various fields significantly improved the quality of life of the people. However, increased health facilities along the better living condition had an explosive impact on the growth of population. The world population, which was around 2 billion or 2000 million in 1900, rocketed to 6 billion in 2000, 7.2 billion in 2011. A similar trend was observed in India too. Our population which was approximately 350 million at the time of our independence, reaches close to billion marks by 2000 and crossed 1.2 billion in May 2011. A rapid decline in